Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and I'm ready to start to introduce you to something new I'm hoping to bring you each month called the monthly multi-make. Now this is in conjunction with my Facebook group, which is called Papercrafting with Paul. So if you're not already a member, please head over to Facebook and type in Papercrafting with Paul and click on the button to join. Because what we're going to be doing is setting like a little monthly challenge where I'm going to try and debunk all those things about Digi Kits which people worry about, that they're expensive to print and things like that. So we're going to be using our digital kits to make some 5x7 cards, and we're going to try and multi-make from as little paper as we can. So this is going to be great now for building up your stash of general cards. But I'm also, in the tutorials when I'm going to be making them, I'm going to be using some Christmas kits each time. So by the time Christmas comes, we'll have built up quite a stock, because that's the time where we use most cards. So multi-making out of as little supplies as we can. Now, if you're not already a member of Papercrafting with Paul, head on over now, because as I said, I'm going to be using some Digi Kits. So I'm going to be using some Nitwits kits each month, a generic one. So this one was made with Photogenic. Now this was just my play around one. I haven't finished it yet. I feel like it just needs a little bit more design behind our topper. But I'm just going to be showing you the basics today. And I'm going to be using Christmas one, as I said. But to help you get into these challenges, Nitwits have kindly agreed to give a prize of a full bundle to one random person. So when you join the Facebook group, there'll be a folder and there'll be the PDF, which you'll be able to download from the group with all the instructions and the dimensions written on it. And in the folder then you'll be able to drop your cards in so we can see what you're making, and then I'll choose at the end of the month a random winner to win a kit from Nitwits. So what are the multi-makes? Well, there are two ways we're going to be able to do this. One, you can print off and choose two of the backing papers, and when you go to your printing options, I use just the general photo printing. So I can print full page or a two photos on one page, but rather than choose photos, I just choose my backing papers. So I've gone for Christmas critters here, but I'm not using the animals. So you're going to see a couple of cards now made with the Christmas critters, but no animals. So it really is a versatile kit. So I've chosen this Ho 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 and the Christmas baubles. You can see the quality of the printing there. Now I've printed out onto a 190 GSM ice paper here, which I just get from Amazon. Then I've got some black cardstock to make my card blanks. And I've just printed a couple. As I said, I'm not using the critters, just a couple of toppers here. I didn't have to do anything there, just resize them to the size I want. So I think that these, if I bring in my ruler, they were 2 3/4 by 2 1/4. So yeah, about 3 inches by 2 1/2 would be fine. A good sort of guide. So let's go through what the PDF printout will tell us to do. So first of all, step 1 is make your 5x7 card blanks by cutting your cardstock. So I've got my 2 sheets here. Now, if I was to print out 2 full sheets of my designer paper, I would need 4 pieces of my cardstock, because I'd be able to get 4 cards out of it. And you just keep going in 2s if you want. Or another option would be print 2 backing papers on like this on one sheet, and 2 different ones on another one, and you'd have your 4 different designs to get even more variation in your cards. So let's make our card blanks. So it says to cut at 10 by 7. Remove my trimmer and bring in my scoreboard. And I'm just going to score at 5 inches. So I keep getting asked about what I use to score, and it's this X-Cut multi-tool, which comes with 3 different sized ball tools. So you can see that's the very thin one. So I use my number 2, I think it means 2 millimeters, the widest one, and then the 4th one is actually a pin, so you can do some piercing. So I use the black one. So yeah, so the X-Cut multi-tool, I think you can get them from Amazon. Score at 5 inches. Score at 5 inches. So set aside my scoreboard. Bring in my Teflon tool, which I got from Cool Cats, which is brilliant, especially if you're working on black, because it won't mark the cardstock. So there's one. Oh, I didn't quite get to the bottom on that one. Let's go again. There we are. Let's fold the second one. So I got my 2 5x7 card blanks. Now, so choose 2 pieces of patterned paper and cut each to 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. So as I said, I'm using my Digi Kits here. There's nothing stopping you going into your paper stash and choosing any papers you've got going there. You could use your 12x12s, anything you want. So we're just going to be cutting these now to 6 3/4. So 6 3/4 tall by 4 3/4 wide. And let's just move that out the way. So I've got my 2 patterned papers here, cut to that size, and now it says cut a vertical strip down the left hand side of each patterned paper at 2 inches. So I'm just going to line it up at 2 inches. Now I'm cutting both of them at the same time here now, so I'll know they're the same size. So there's the first one. Make sure my ho is the correct way up. And now it says to cut a 2-inch strip off the bottom of each piece. So I'm just lining them up again. Here's 2 inches. And 2 inches. I can set my trimmer off to the side now. So here we've got our patterned papers cut into our 4 pieces, just as the dimensions say here. So it says 2 inches up and 2 inches across. So I'm just going to take my distress ink. I'm using the black because I'm using black cardstock for my base. I'm just going to go around each one. So this just hides any raw edges and will actually highlight when we bring them together later on. So I'll try and be as quick as you can. I'd usually spend a little bit more time here getting it a bit more even and pronounced. but let's go for some speed today. So there's the ho ho ho. And the baubles. So going around with the black soot distress ink, it's not essential. It's an optional that you can leave this bit out. The last one. Here we go. It doesn't matter, but I'll just... Now, whilst I've got my ink out, I'm also going to do the same to my toppers. Now, this one I am going to take a little bit more time because I do want that black line definition to make it stand out from my background papers. So I'm actually adding a little bit more black to this, coming in a little bit further. Here's 1 and 2. To say, especially at Christmas, this would be such an easy topper to do because with the fussy cutting, it's just a straight line rectangle. So a nice option to go for. Right. So now we're going to start showing how these multi-makes are going to work. So what we're going to do is we're going to be swapping pieces of our pattern papers around. So it says swap the top left and bottom right pieces of each pattern. So top left, we're going to be doing so, and bottom right. Here we go. And that's how these multi-makes are going to work. We're going to be just swapping over our pattern papers. So we get 2 cards which are exactly the same in layout, but because of the pattern papers will look slightly different. And then we're just going to glue them onto our card blanks. So you can see here, if you were printing full pages of your patterned paper, you would have had double of each of these. So you would have had 4 cards in your multi-make. And you see, 1 printed sheet of our Digi Kit. So if you're one who worries about the cost of printing and things, we're getting 2 cards out of 1 printed sheet just by doing that 2 on 1 page type of printing. Now you can use your double-sided tape or your glue, whatever you are most comfortable with. And the last one. I think when you're choosing papers, I do tend to go for ones which haven't got much direction to them. So let's just stick that one down. That way I can put them, I don't have to worry so much about which way I'm sticking down and things. But you've got to be careful with a ho ho ho, otherwise you're going to end up with o o o. So it's not often a black would be used at Christmas, but I think it really makes these pop, especially when you've got the black writing in the toppers. I think black works then. Here we go. And the last piece. Make sure I've got it the ho way. Yep. There we go. So you see how the multi part is coming into it now. And then we're just going to add our toppers to it. Now I'm going to see if I can get an even sharper black line here. Let's go darker. And with this one, just on the edge, again with my Distress Black Soot ink. There we go. Of course, if you wanted to use some black cardstock to back them, you could. And now it's up to you. You could stick them flat, which if you're posting is great. Or you can always use some foam pads if you want to add some dimension to your card now. I'll put one in the middle so we don't have any sagging parts to it. And like I said, I'm keeping mine nice and simple, which is great for Christmas time for your bulk doing. But here now you could add a lot more embellishments as you wish. I said I'm just keeping it to the basics. But I can't wait to see what you lot do and how you take these to the next level then. So you could be adding the flowers from this collection, the holly, the poinsettias are in this collection. I could have added behind them. I could have added some ribbon or some cord or anything I wanted behind it to make my decoration, or sorry, my topper to decorate it. So I just keep it nice and simple, perfect for Christmas. I could just carry on multi-making these cards over and over again. Got my PDF, so I can just refer back to over and over again. And those are my cards. So what I would do now is head over to Facebook, take a photo of these, put it into that group, find the folder for monthly multi-make 1. And as I said, Nitwits have given me a voucher for you to choose a kit if you are the randomly selected winner, so that you can then join in these multi-makes each month. So there we have it, our first monthly multi-make with Papercrafting with Paul. Head over to Facebook, join that group, then give this video a thumbs up here on YouTube. Please write some comments in the comment section below as well. That would make my day, because I like to read what you think of them. And yeah, let's see your versions of these multi-make cards. So remember, you don't have to go digi. If you want to use your leftovers from your paper pads, go for that as well. They'd be perfect for that because all the bits are so small that you'll be able to use up your scraps to make some lovely cards. So over to you. And I'll see you all again soon for some more crafting.